And here it is. It is here. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Here it is. It is here. Here I am. Hope you're there. Also a two-session day today. So hopefully we get some level of interaction. So the session commences your company required. So I can say that thing that happens twice a day because on this day it's going to be happening twice a day. So if you are available, gather, come spend however long the session lasts with the session. One man went to mow. Where's my intro music? I've lost my intro music. Oh my goodness me! Look at that. Oh yeah, there it is. So one man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. Holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika, yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele maduche mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano, it's another Savior. Gonna sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano, it's another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 it's another Savior. Getting it right and getting it faster now. Holy, 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 it's another Savior. Holy, holy, getting it right, holy, faster, for freedom. It's another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano, it's another Savior.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. Holy, 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 all the men will do is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Amadika, Yabika Kokwanam no wow. Eh, Anana Kele Mazuche me
And there it is right there, the Holy Holy song from the eastern parts of Nigeria, from the Igbo people, the Holy Holy song. So Holy Holy, as guys, I bring you, Holy Holy, as guys, I bring you this. Japa, what is the faith of Nigerian youth if Atiku Tinubu emerge president? So here, a piece written by Rachel Okuru. Rachel Okuru, so sort of an Eastern lilt to the tonality of this article, I suspect. Japa or Japa, yes, Japa is what they call it, isn't it? Japa, what is the faith of Nigerian youth if Atiku Tinubu emerge president? So, of course, notable Peter B missing from that list. So I think we might well guess at where that is headed. 5 times Obi quoted wrong figures in public. So Peter B, of course, notorious for just plucking figures out of thin air and then using it to alarm the gullible audience. But of course, oftentimes whenever what he presents as facts is fact-checked, it is found wanting. So Obi and his dubious facts, 5 times Obi quoted wrong figures in public. So that's 5 times, but you can have 500 times if you so wish. 6 things Wike demanded from Atiku in London. So the list of demand from Wike now, we go through it and we'll see then if it's setting Atiku an impossible task. So an impossible task, Atiku loyalists reveal why PDP chairman must not resign. So that will be the killer of that deal. So whatever deal is about to be struck, the fact that Ayu is adamant that he's not stepping down will kill that deal. And of course, Wike knows that as well. So an impossible task, as I said. PDP crisis, Ayu camp in panic mode after Wike Atiku's meeting in London. So the only thing that we're not hearing from the PDP space are policy positionings and how they are going to move Nigeria forward. What we hear plentifully is how the party is hemorrhaging and is crisis-laden. So crisis-laden PDP. So the usual protocol, click on like, click on subscribe, and click on the hyperlink that says StreamYard if you want to come join us on the screen. So we are setting targets every day, and the targeted numbers of subscribers that we're looking to get today in the course of both this first session and the second session are 70. So we are after 70 new subscribers today. So help us on that journey if you're not already subscribed by clicking on the subscribe button, and click on the like button as well. And if you feel inclined, if you feel sufficiently emboldened to come and take on any of these talking points, then click on this hyperlink that is highlighted on the screen that says StreamYard. That brings you into a studio space. Soon as I finish reading out the talking points, I'll let you onto the screen. We engage in a conversation, and that's how it works. It's an open microphone session, and the open microphone, the hyperlink that says StreamYard. So as we set about those tasks, let me provide you with a little bit of a musical backdrop. Have your glasses or your vessel to the ready as we join the calabash in a bit of a sing-along.
Water, only water, only water, where they see my water. Hapa you don't come oh. Hapa oh night oh. Oro keke elemu ye o. Ide shodi ya keke elemu re o. Hobby master keke elemu re o. Chifu Latif keke elemu re o. Eruku lele elemude. Eruku lele lọ sódùn kẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó ti lé o.
ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ.
ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o.
ìgbàlà tí
lè yọ.
ìgbàlà tí èlé.
àkùkọ ọ̀run méjìkọ. ikú kò ní ríwà àgbéṣe o.
ìgbàlà tí èlé. ìgbàlà tí èlé.
àrùnkárùn kò ní.
And there it is right there. Akuko Orunmeiko, may death have nothing to do with us. Iku Koneru Agbeshe. So Iku Koneru Agbeshe, as guys, I bring you this. Japa, what is the faith of Nigerian youths if Atiku Tinubu emerge president? Nigeria is currently faced with a significant number of socio-economic issues, including insecurity, high cost of goods and services, unemployment, a 6-month-old strike embarked by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, as well as other economic and financial challenges affecting the country. The crushing depreciation of the Naira and the heightened insecurity has also created a sense of urgency for a lot of young Nigerians looking for a better life. In this article, correspondent looks at the current trend amongst many Nigerian youths who are looking to japa, a phrase used to describe traveling out of the country in search of greener pastures. This is coupled with the fear of what would become of the faith of many youths if the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu or the People's Democratic Party flag bearer Atiku Abubakar emerge as president. Daily on the microblogging platform Twitter, Japa takes the top trend, with many Nigerians expressing how the country will lose a lot of youth and experts if Tinubu and Atiku become president. So it then goes on to show us trends, which is Japa, Erica, Port Harcourt, etc. So that's what is trending the most within the Nigerian space. And here are some opinions culled from the Twitter space. So this is a commentator. If Dubai president or Bobo Chicago emerges in 2023, you're going to see the mother of all Japa stand to be challenged. So another commentator, Nigerians are joking with the aftermath of Japa. GT Bank is having technical issues for over 30 hours, no team to fix it. Most of their tech guys have Japa. When you vote a bad leader like Buhari, you have an empty country with nothing functioning. Another commentator, both Northerners and Southerners get CBN/NDIC jobs, but after getting first 5 million, Southerners Japa, 30 years later, the Aboki is now the CBN deputy governor, whilst the Southerner is exhausted from the 3 jobs daily in Onyibo land and has no connection in Nigeria. He will cry dominance. Another commentator, if you earn $2,000 to $4,000 a month working remotely in Africa, there is really no point considering Japa. You can build wealth faster in Africa on that salary than abroad. If you feel you are not safe, you can apply for a work permit in a safer country and pile up the cash. In the last few months, Nigerian companies, especially banks, IT firms, and hospitals, have suffered massive resignation with the trend of people leaving their country for greener pastures abroad. The Nigerian Medical Association recently raised the alarm, stating that if the trend continues, there may be a need to hire doctors from foreign countries in the future. So 2023, Atiku, Tinubu, Obi in 3-horse race. Amongst the 3 major candidates for the 2023 election, Labour Party LP flag bearer Peter Obi has been projected as a messiah to many youths, and they have pledged their support for him. In a series of interviews, Obi, unlike other candidates, often speaks about giving back the country to the youths and turning Nigeria from consumption to production. However, There are fears and anxiety about the former governor of Anambra State becoming the governor. In a tweet, a former presidential aide, Reno Omokri, claimed that Peter Obi might be impeached if he emerged as president. According to him, there could be a conspiracy from senators of the APC and PDP, considering there are no senators of LP in the National Assembly and House of Representatives. For Tinubu and Atiku, some Nigerians still believe that both have contributed to the failed system and will not act differently from the current president, Mohamed Buhari. However, others still feel that Tinubu stands a better chance than Atiku, looking at his leadership pedigree and achievements in Lagos. Oh no, not again. So that's a subtitle. Oh no, not again. Many youths are not willing to give another chance to the two politicians who are considered to be Siamese twins of bad governance, corruption, failure, and incompetence. A former Minister of Education, Obi Ezekwesili, in a series of tweets earlier this year, slammed the two parties for mismanaging the country. She also accused them of trivializing the people's sensitivities with their self-centered decisions. On this premise, many have resorted to Japa leaving the country because Nigerians may likely face more economic issues if Atiku and Tinubu, that should be Atiku or Tinubu, of course, emerge as president. A factional governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Ogun State, Segun Showunmi, in an interview with correspondents, opined that exiting the country is not solution to the current challenges. Showunmi said an individual does not disconnect his Showunmi said an individual does not disconnect his/her from their homestead because of challenges, stressing that there are still some benefits in Nigeria. According to the PDP chieftain, young people should not give up on their country because building a nation requires collective effort, and also appeals to the government to open up spaces for the youth. He said, sometimes the grass really looks green when you are on the other side, when you haven't gotten there. And definitely, human civilization is expected that people will move, relocate, or come back. People go to look for what is considered greener pastures. But nobody must disconnect himself or herself from their homestead. Therefore, the situation in the country and the benefits that we enjoy are still such that our country is a beautiful place and no place like home. So I just want to appeal to those who have made up their mind to leave the country to look before they leap, to be sure they are not deceived by the images on social media. Those who go out as soon as they encounter any challenge, they are running back home. Everybody's opinion, energy, and efforts are required to rebuild a nation. Those countries that youth are running to, their own citizens built it, and there is no point in having so much frustration against the government. In this country, nobody is stopping anyone from being whatever they want to be, at least not obviously. If you want to farm or be in the creative industry, there are a lot of opportunities. I feel that the parties must quickly begin to open up the space for young people. I want to beg young people not to give up on their country. So it is the Japa phenomenon which is hemorrhaging very much now, and sharply so, to the detriment of the country, the brightest and the most creative of minds. Because if you are a bright and a creative mind, then you have no reasons to be in Nigeria. Why would you be? If you are a currency that has international value, why would you be in a country like Nigeria? If you're a skilled IT person, a doctor, a nurse, an engineer, why would you be in Nigeria? There's absolutely no reason for you to be in Nigeria, because you may be feeling you are loyal to Nigeria, but you know categorically that Nigeria is not loyal to you. They want to gun you down, they want to hem you down, they want to exploit you and brutalize you and dehumanize you. That is what the Nigerian state offers you. So if you have skills and talent, what reasons whatsoever do you have to remain within the Nigerian state? So that is the Japa phenomenon. But now, what this writer is inviting you to consider is that phenomenon, the Japa phenomenon, is it going to ratchet up if Tinubu or Atiku becomes president? And to the exclusion of Peter Obi, of course, because by the exclusion of Peter Obi, the writer invites you to hold a view to the contrary, that if Peter Obi becomes the president, then nobody will japa from Nigeria. But is that true? What reasons do people japa? The lack of opportunities, a sense of unsafeness, and just the grind that is the Nigerian state. So Peter Obi has not presented a panacea to any of that, not to insecurity, not to the economic woes of the country. There are no elegant thoughts or bright ideas coming from him. So I don't especially see why Nigerians would not japa under a Peter Obi administration. And I don't especially see why Nigerians would japa or not japa under Atiku or Tinubu, because these are tested and with banks of achievement administrators. You know, these people have pedigree in administration, to some success and maybe some failure, but they certainly have a quantity that suggests that there might be good coming from them if they're inclined towards good. So I think this is somewhat a prejudiced view by that writer, a prejudiced view. But we're still sticking with Peter Obi, of course, because we cannot seem to escape him. 5 times Obi quoted wrong figures in public. Peter Obi, a former governor of Anambra State and Labour Party LP presidential candidate for the Nigeria 2023 elections, had early this August engaged in a war of words with his counterpart from the All Progressives Congress APC, Bola Tinubu, over counter accusations of spreading fake news and maligning his candidacy. Tinubu Campaign Organization, in a statement signed by its director of Media and Publicity, Bayo Ononuga, had called on Obi to rein in his supporters, who it accused of spreading fake news about its candidate. In a reaction, Obi absolved his supporters of spreading misinformation online, saying that the vitriol of fake news attributed to obedient supporters is actually the handiwork of the opposition. As we approach the official kickoff of the 2023 election campaign, it has become evident that the opposition has adopted a negative strategy of trolling and insinuating fake news and misinformation in the social media space, and blaming the Labour Party, its presidential candidate, and their supporters of same. Obi said in a tweet thread he posted via his verified handle at Peter Obi on August the 18th, 2022. The Labour Party candidate is popular for quoting facts and figures while speaking about challenges facing Nigeria, alongside his plans and policy for the country if elected. However, when some of these claims are subjected to verification, quite a good number of them have been found to be inaccurate. So just listen to that. Let me reread that paragraph and we unpick it. The Labour Party candidate is popular for quoting facts and figures. Yes, he is. I'm not quite sure if we want to use the word popular, but he's certainly notorious for quoting facts and figures. But these are oftentimes just facts and figures plucked out of thin air to throw alarmist statistics at his gullible audience, who got it all up and then raise arms and run up the hill screaming and shouting. So this is it. If Peter Obi says it must be true, he's a former banker and a former governor, and then they surrender critical thinking to the man from Anambra State. So Labour Party candidate is popular. The Labour Party candidate is popular for quoting facts and figures while speaking about challenges facing Nigeria, alongside his plans and policies for the country if elected. I'm not quite sure if he's quoting any plans because he's long on rhetorics but short on substance. That's the criticism of the Peter Obi space. He's very quick to list all the woes that afflicts the Nigerian state, but how he solves it is very short on that. Long on rhetoric, short on substance. So the Labour Party candidate is popular for quoting facts and figures while speaking about challenges facing Nigeria, alongside his plans and policy for the country if elected. However, when some of these uh, claims are subjected to verification, now listen to this last tail of quite a good number of them. So a significant, that is to say, a significant number of the facts and figures that are quoted by Peter Obi, quite a good number of them have been found to be inaccurate. So, i.e., interpret and conclude, he's just plucking facts and figures from thin air, just grabbing and reaching and throwing it to the great unwashed that follow him. So the great unwashed that follow him are in this recap, the fact check hub highlights 5 times Obi quoted misleading facts and figures. So, number one, claim about the number of Nigerian players at the NBA. So, you may well think this is a vague and spurious and non important thing, but this is a man speaking categorically and a man wanting to be president. So, he has to be up to speed on what he's saying or not say it at all. Claim about the number of Nigerian players at the NBA. Responding to questions on a channel's television program Politics Today, aired on July the 25th, 2022, Obi claims that out of the 150 players playing in the National Basketball Association, almost 100 are Nigerians, Obi said, proud celebrating their talent. And this is what we have everywhere. If you go into American NBA, out of the 150 players, almost 100 are Nigerians. These youths are so talented that they are where you need to focus. These youths are so talented that they are where you need to focus to reach their talent and productive energy to turn around the country. Let me have a sip of water. But fact checks by the AFP and the Daily Trust show that the claim is false. Founded in 1946, the NBA is a professional basketball association in North America. The league is composed of 30 teams, 29 in the United States and 1 in Canada, and is one of the major professional sports leagues in the United States and Canada. It is the premier men's professional basketball league in the world. According to the NBA, about 109 international players registered for the league's 2021 to 2022 season, and only 5 are from Nigeria. So there it is right there. It's just completely and utterly. Look at it. This is what he does, though. It's a tiny little thing, but he's there at the studio wanting to impress with all this pluck from thin air. Because he's quoting real figures now. He's narrowed it to the NBA, telling us that there are 150 players in that league, and 100, even without it being fact checked, it doesn't already ring true. And that is why people, and really out of the 100 that is now quoting, only 5 are from Nigeria. But I don't know, but I suspect that whoever is fact checking this might be being a little bit pedantic or pedantic. They might be being a little bit pedantic, because I suspect that more than 5 are maybe from Nigeria, as in migrating from Nigeria to play in the NBA. But I think Obi might well mean they are of Nigerian origin, which is a different inflection. And I suspect that more than 5 of either migrant or of Nigerian origin will be in the NBA. It says, but fact checks by the AFP and Daily Trust show that the claim is false. Uh, According to NBA, about 109 international players registered for the league's 2021-2022 season, and only 5 are from Nigeria. The roster published it on its website. The roster published on its website also reveals that the league currently has 583 players in total as its international and domestic players. The 5 players listed as Nigerians are Charles Bassey, who plays for the Philadelphia 69ers, Josh Okogie of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Precious something or the other of Toronto Raptors. So there it is. So a fact debunked right there. Second claim, claim about Nigeria's total export in 2021. Speaking in Umuahia, Abia State capital, on the 23rd of July 2022, during a non-denominational prayer organized by the Catholic Diocese of Umuahia, the former Anambra governor claimed that Nigeria's total export was less than 30 billion US dollars in 2021. Nigeria is a country with 923,000 square kilometers of land and a population of 200 million people. God blessed us with oil and other resources. We have over 100 million people living in poverty. But to show that we are not a producing country, last year, our total export, including oil, was less than $30 billion. That is why we can't find dollars, Obi said. However, findings by the fact check hub showed that Nigeria's total export, including oil, was about $47 billion, or precisely 18.9 trillion naira, based on the average exchange rate in 2021, 403.5 naira to the dollar, thus making Obi's claim false. A report by the National Bureau of Statistics titled Foreign Trade in Goods Statistics showed that Nigeria's total export amounted to 18.9 trillion naira in 2021, whilst total exports stood at 20 point, whilst total imports stood at, look at that though, look at these figures. A report by the National Bureau of Statistics titled Foreign Trade in Goods Statistics Quarter 4 2021 shows that Nigeria's total export amounted to 18.9 trillion naira in 2021, whilst the total import stood at 20.84 trillion. So we are importing near on 2 trillion naira more in value than we're exporting, and so that is economics Buhari style. So number 3, Nigeria has only 2 million vehicles, 10 per 1,000 as at 2018. Speaking at a debate put together by the Nigerian Election Debate Group NEDG and the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria BON, which featured 5 running mates for the 2019 general elections, Peter Obi claimed Nigeria has only 2 million vehicles, 10 per 1,000 people. He said, "Each subsidy is a waste. What are you actually subsidizing? Look at it. Nigeria has one of the low car ownerships in the world. It is 10 per 1,000. So we have only 2 million vehicles, and you are paying almost $1 trillion when we have 87 million people that are poor." In 2018, the ICIR fact-checked the claim, and the finding shows it is false. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's estimated vehicle population as at the second quarter of 2018 is 11,760,871, and the vehicle per population ratio was put at 0.06 as against obese 0.01. In 2017, commercial vehicles accounted for 53.8% of the total vehicle population. Private vehicles accounted for 44.5%, government vehicles accounted for 1.65%, and diplomatic vehicles made up for 0.1%. So a total out of sequence quotation again. So he's quoting 2 million. Even on the visuals, you cannot imagine that there are only 2 million vehicles. Even in Lagos alone, I suspect that we have well in excess of 250,000 vehicles in Lagos alone, if not even 500,000. Just on the, how can you even go out in public? This is just what this guy, it just plucks from thin air. It just plucks these ludicrous numbers from thin air and it throws it into space. Number 4, claim that as at 2018, African trade is less than 9% and oil gives 80% of our forex. So there it is again, another spurious claim by Peter Obi. Speaking on the African continent free trade agreement during the debate, Obi claimed that as at 2018, African trade is less than 9% and oil gives 80% of our forex exchange earning. African trade today is less than 9%, and if we get it right, it can get as high as 30% or 40%. The foreign exchange you are saying today, you are now earning from oil. Oil now gives you 80% of your foreign exchange. When in effect, if you do the right things, you can have twice than that coming from manufacturing, Obi said. So this was in 2018. The ICIR fact-checked this claim as well, and no prices for guessing it was false, of course. The 2018 African Trade Report developed by the African Export-Import Bank noted that African trade is at 15%, nearly double of Obi's claim, compared to Europe's 67% and Asia's 58%, North America's 48%, and Latin America's 20%. According to Brookings, in 2016, intra-Africa imports made up 18% of total exports. So I'm not quite sure if that debunks what Peter Obi is saying or not, because I think he may well be speaking specifically of the Nigerian to other African trade, as opposed to the totality of trades between African countries. So I'm not quite sure. That's somewhat of a vague area, but really, knowing his antecedents, he just made up the figures anyway. Number 5, bank loans are about 15% of GDP. China is 200. Bank loans are about 15% of GDP. China is 250% of GDP. Whilst answering a question on driving investment into the economy, Obi also claimed that bank loans are about 15% of GDP and that China is using 250% of its GDP as credits to businesses and private sector. Your banks today, all the loans they have given are at 15% of your GDP, when other countries are doing 50 to 100%. China alone is doing 250% on its GDP as credits to businesses, to private sectors, Obi said. The ICIR fact-checked the claim, relying on data sourced from the International Monetary Fund and made available on Trading Economics, which provides more than 20 million economic indicators for 196 countries. In Nigeria, domestic credit provided by the bank sector as per, let me do that again. In Nigeria, domestic credit provided by the bank sector as a percent of the GDP for 2017 was 26.56%. For China, the figure stands at 215%, thus making Obi's claim misleading. So there it is. There it is. So this is well done for the effort to whoever. Let me see who actually wrote this. So well done for the effort for whoever Nuruddin, uh, Akiwushola. So Nuruddin. So well done Nuruddin for this. But we didn't really need you to do that to know that Obi plugs figures from thin air. I think everybody within the Nigerian political space, we all know that he just talks all these abstract figures to make himself look clever and for the diet of the gullibles that follow him. 6 things Wike demanded from Atiku in London. More light has been shed on the meeting between the Rivers State Governor Yemson Wike and 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party PDP Atiku Abubakar in London last week. The meeting was attended by Governors Ikpeazu, Otom, Makinde, who are allies of Wike, and Amedu Fintiri, an ally of the former vice president. Correspondents earlier reported that both men have been at loggerheads since the party's presidential primaries a few months ago. The rift became wider after Atiku chose Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa as running mate against the recommendation of a committee set up to choose the vice presidential candidate of the party. The committee selected Wike. However, reconciliatory moves are in high gear, and correspondents has relied. However, reconciliatory moves are in high gear, and correspondents has reliably gathered that Wike and his allies made 6 solid demands from Atiku in order to support him in 2023. The demands include: number one, the immediate removal of Senator Iyorchia Ayu as the national chairman of the party. Number two, alteration of the North-dominated National Working Committee (NWC) of the party. Number three, that Atiku puts it in writing his commitment to serve for only one term if he wins, to pave the way for power shift to the south. Number four, demanded to produce the new PDP national chairman from the Southwest Zone. Number five, demanded to produce the Senate president, principal officers of the National Assembly, and key ministers if PDP win. Number six, nomination of a director general for the Atiku campaign organization. So there it is right there. That's is essentially an impossible task. So are you to go fair enough or not fair enough? They want to change the NWC. Is that still negotiable? But then they're asking Atiku to put it in writing that he will only serve one term. But he can put it in writing to satisfy them. As soon as he becomes president, of course, he'll tell them to get lost. Demand to produce the new PDP national chairman from the Southwest. So they are speculating that they want to install Fayose in that slot. Demand to produce the Senate president, principal officers of the National Assembly, and key ministers if PDP win. So impossible tasks. Nomination of a, would they even want to nominate a director general for the Atiku campaign? Surely Atiku has that prerogative. A reliable source disclosed this to correspondents that Atiku allegedly told Wike he will consider their demands and get back to them within 2 weeks. It was also learned that Wike met with Tinubu and the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Peter Obi, who are both lobbying the Rivers strongman. Speaking on the meeting after his return from London, Wike said, "I can confirm that this is the first time as a team we are meeting with presidential candidates. For whatever it is worth, consultation is ongoing. Whatever we're talking about is for the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians. It is not parochial and tied to one man or group of persons." to one person or group of persons. We believe that with what is going on, it will be for the interest of Nigerians at the end of the day. Wike decried the situation where standard training and competence. Wike decried the situation where standard training and competence had always been traded for mediocrity. He said leadership should not be about one individual and the interest of his family, but about the collective interest of everybody. So there it is right there, the six demands from Wike. The six demands for Wike, and one of the key demands, of course, is for your chair Ayu's head to roll. Ayu's camp in panic mode after Wike Atiku meet in London. Supporters of the People's Democratic Party PDP National Chairman Chair Ayu are in a state of panic following the London meeting between the party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and Governor Yemson Wike of Rivers State. Correspondents report that Governor Yemson Wike of Rivers State has insisted on Ayu's resignation as one of his conditions to back the presidential bid of Atiku Abubakar. Wike's camp claimed that Ayu had promised to resign his position if the presidential candidate of the PDP emerged from the north. But in a statement released through his media aide, Simon or Imobo Twam, Ayu stated that he was elected as the national chairman to lead the party for 4 years. He added that he is on an assignment to lead the PDP on a rescue mission by February 2023. It was, however, gathered that Atiku may be willing to accept Wike's demand following the Rivers State governor's meeting with opposition politicians. Correspondents recall that the APC Bola Tinubu had on Monday met with Wike and some PDP governors at a hotel in London. Also, former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Peter Obi met with Wike in a move aimed at building broad support for the aspiration of the Labour Party presidential candidate. According to Saturday Sun, the meeting between Atiku and Wike had sent shock waves through Ayu and Atiku's camp. Recall that Atiku, through his media aide Paul Ibe, on Thursday, had cautioned his supporters against making inflammatory comments that would jeopardize the party's unity. A source revealed that Ayu supporters, including a former Northwest governor, interpreted Atiku's London meeting with Wike and the statement cautioning his supporters against inflammatory statements as a sign that Atiku wants to ditch the camp. It was gathered that the PDP chairman has started making frantic efforts to mobilize some stakeholders to support him. The source said, barring any last-minute change of plans, Ayu and some of the NWC will be in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, today to felicitate the governor's wife on her birthday. According to the source, the trip is intended to serve as an avenue for a rapprochement between Wike camp and the national chairman. He said they are planning to visit Benue under the guise of felicitating the wife of the governor on the occasion of her birthday. The Benue visit is just an opportunity for them to reach out to the pro-Wike governors, especially Otom, as part of peace building. And Otom, of course, will always be the weak link in that clan. So Otom, the weak link in that clan. So I think that's sufficient enough because it's only a 2-hour session. So to it then, and to the people assembled. Thomas, I see you. Adanle Koko, I see you. RB, I see you. And Victor, I see you. So good to see you, gentlemen. Let's go quickly to Victor if it's available. Victor, are you there? All right.
Yes, I am here, old man.
All right, brilliant. Good to have you, Victor. You've been away for a while. We've noticed your absence. How have you been?
Yes, I was in a course, but I'm back.
Oh, all right, brilliant. Good to have you back. So quickly then, the session started with the Wike space. So the first space was about this Japa narrative that already the country is hemorrhaging a lot of its bright and talented minds, the young space. But under a Tinubu or an Atiku presidency, this will spike up even more. Is that your reading of the situation in Nigeria, Victor?
Yeah, I am in Nigeria. Yeah, I think the youth are actually quite skeptical about these old guards. So even just the simple fear of Atiku or Tinubu emerging can make even me myself to Japa. You there is you really you can hardly tell somebody that things are gonna be different with this set of people. That's reading from what they want, you know. So that's it's a fear factor actually. It's if you want to be
And
honest,
is
if you want
real.
to be diplomatic about it, it's different.
All right, and it's real, and you can sense it amongst the youth space in the country. You sense it.
It just the apprehension that the fear that there is a possibility that these other two older people will come in is enough reason for people to get their passports. I'm telling you what is happening. It's not what's on paper, you know. So the fact that people can come out to Peter Obi may not be the most brilliant, but he's he's capturing their mind in a way that there is a little bit of renewed hope. You know that things that the bleeding can actually stop and turn the other way around. You know, it's unthinkable that students ASU is on strike till this moment, and campaign is going on, and the APC is so you can actually imagine what the people feel. It's a sacrilege that ASU should be on strike by this time, and but it means nothing to them. To them
It's
is
going on. It's going on
let's
seven
win
months. You
elections
know,
first.
it's going on 7 months.
Yeah, let's to them it's just let's win election. You know, so for any reasonable person, you really have to think about you. We only got one life to live. You have to think about yourself, see how old you are, see how long you spent in Nigeria, and really make a move. You know, that's the truth.
All right, brilliant. Staying with the Peter Obi space still, you said that Peter Obi has somewhat captured the minds of the youth space, and if there's any hope in Nigeria, then the hope is vested on Peter Obi. But as he played a fast one on them, is the question. Peter Obi now, his penchant for plucking figures out of thin air and stating them as categorical facts, endlessly, continuously being debunked, but he doesn't seem to have the capacity to stop making up figures. Is this some mental failing in the man? The need to just make up figures to appear impressive and clever?
Okay. This one, honestly, it's to me. If I'm to classify our needs, this should be one of the lowest ranking, right? We are not even talking about people who about people who give figures or people who don't give figures. We are talking about someone who just would be able to start stopping the issues going on. You see, I know he makes up a lot of things. Like I think I listened from the third one where you were mentioning it too. And yeah, true. Yeah, that's those are mistakes, but I don't think it's a mental issue. Like I don't even think any of those both the old ones and the younger ones, I don't think they have mental deficiencies of any sort. Anyway, but it's not it's not a big deal. Honestly, it's really not a big deal. What is ranking quite high right now is just the commitment to stop the bleeding. That's the nation is actually bleeding. That's the truth.
Oh,
You know, whatever thing he has made up still tells to the fact that things went bad. So for me, yeah, that's what I can take out from the whole thing. That things
oh, oh,
are
oh,
not
oh,
right.
all right. Let me take you where rescue might be coming from. According to Atiku Abubakar, he is the rescue, but for him to succeed in that, he has to get past Yemsen Wike, and for him to get past Yemsen Wike, Wike has presented a list of 6 demands for him to be on board with the Atiku ambition. So I'll reread the list to you very quickly, Victor, and then you then tell me if any of these lists can be met by Atiku. So the first one is the immediate removal of Ayu as national chairman. The second one is the alteration of the North-dominated National Working Committee of the party. The third one is that Atiku puts in writing his commitment to serve for only one term if he wins, to pave way for power shift to the south. The fourth one demanded to produce the new PDP national chairman from the Southwest. The fifth one demanded to produce the Senate president, principal officers of the National Assembly, and key ministers if PDP wins. Number six, nomination of a director general for the Atiku campaign organization. So, which, if any, of those are list of 6 can articulate, Victor?
I think some of these things, yes, in the spirit of equity and all that, but truth is you check who is asking, because sometimes it's not about what is fair. You check who is asking. Wike is such a strong force that sometimes he makes himself susceptible to that fear that he may take over the whole situation. He makes himself, he makes people think that he has like given any little opportunity, he may now overshadow the principal. And that actually is what I think is the major fear they have about the personality of the person demanding this thing. It's not that necessarily that the things he's demanding are that outrageous, but
You don't think they're outrageous? Is he
it,
not demanding the presidency? If he picks the Senate chairman, the chairman of
exactly.
the party, yeah, all the key ministerial portfolios, and then he says Atiku can only serve one term, is he not demanding the presidency? That's the presidency right there, isn't it?
And then the question is who is asking? The person who is demanding these things is not just anybody. It's someone who can. It's more like putting the entire political party in their hands. And definitely for the same reason why maybe. For those same reasons why, which I don't know anyway, why Atiku didn't pick him as his vice. Those reasons may still be valid in not wanting to grant some, even if not all of these demands. So I think they should actually these PDP people, let them just sort themselves out. If they don't want to sort themselves out, let them remain like this, and
Yeah,
maybe let some other people.
are we seeing Atiku losing the election right before our very eyes, even before a vote has been cast?
Well, the truth is, the way this election is actually going to go, it may not necessarily be so much uh, based on some of those old calculations. Wike could still leave his camp and he could still be successful. You know, because some of the things we actually think we have now are things we saw from 2019. There has been a lot of changes. You may think you have 1 million votes in your bank, and maybe one day find out you just might just be making an old calculation that doesn't work anymore. So some of these things, yeah, the, they may think, yeah, Port Harcourt is a big place and a lot of votes coming from there, but then those may not really matter after all, honestly. They may not, votes may be split so much that no particular person can actually come boast of, I have 2 million in my bank, you know. Yeah. So that's it. I can't say he's good. That's maybe if he doesn't partner with Wike, he's lost us. No, no, no. That may just prove to be wrong.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Victor. So thank you, Victor. As you know, the afternoon session is a short one. But if you are back, then join us later in the evening because a lot of your fans, they've been sending me DMs to say, have I fallen out with Victor? I said, I've not fallen out with Victor. Victor is a busy man, so that's what we will see him
No,
soon.
one man. Victor is busy with Obi's campaign in Nigeria.
Yes, that's true, actually.
That's what I take him away.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Does it really look like that?
Have you seen
I saw you in one video now in Abia State where you are leading the campaign march on the streets now. What is it, Victor?
that wouldn't be me.
Now we know what you look
That may
like
be
now,
somebody I look like.
Maybe in Nemo State. I saw you now in the
Yes, and I think I heard his voice.
I'm only waiting for them. I'm only waiting for them to drop the campaign account, and I'll pay my own little money in there. And I'm not going to be on the streets for any reason this time.
No, don't go on the streets. So the streets are a dangerous place, very dangerous, especially in Nigeria.
Very.
But have you seen this in Genje Media guy? He has latched onto the Obi space, and he's just making heavy money he's traveling all over the world with Peter Obi now, just from his YouTube channel.
He has been that man's follower for a long time. It's more like when you talk about Loka, when you talk about Valo Zibo, these are turmoil for him. I think the Ginger Media guy just right from time, not just now, aligned with what Peter believes in, and in fact, he's the real source of updates this time.
Yes, it's part of his team now, going around the world. Is in Germany now with Peter Obi. Flying.
Yeah, I got the notification on YouTube the moment he said the meeting had started. I was really surprised. He's doing a very good work for Peter.
With his big head. He has an oversized head.
Of course, he will be reckoning his own.
Of course, now, but he has an oversized head. That's the one thing I noticed around that guy. His head is oversized.
Why can't Genje Media cover his face? Why can't he cover his face up with shame? He was one of the champion of what do you call him? Nnamdi Kanu, Biafran campaign.
No. I don't think so.
No, we saw him several times.
I don't think so.
We've been following him for a long time.
Yeah, he will follow. I mean, he was one of those that.
It was a holy.
It was holy guy now.
Yeah.
Why can't he just?
No. I don't think so. Yeah. I've seen him on several outings.
Even the day that
where he fits in is
when Nnamdi Kanu was captured on that day that the news
rallying point.
On the day that the news broke out that Nnamdi Kanu has been captured, if he was in Genje that day, he felt so bad and was expressing. You can look at his face. So this is one of those we are talking about that are switched from IPOB, let me say Biafran nation to be for president. So
for Njenje Media.
They're just some
For
stable,
Njenje Media.
those are stable people.
He is not the pro Biafran guy. For Njenje Media, I think I know quite well. He is not. He is the guy that thinks this whole thing.
Would you agree with me? Would you agree with me that you have sympathy for Biafran Nation? If not really one of the champions, you have sympathy for.
No. Let me tell you in one sentence what he is about. He is about trying to focus our development on Igbo land.
It's about the
That's
Southeast.
what he is majorly.
About the Southeast.
Yes. He is not about IPOB, but he's about. So whenever there are shootings, he feels bad because it's scaring away investors. That's where I see him. Even when he brings in Nandikano on his own platform, where I see is let's use the World Igbo Congress to convince this guy to let's try to focus, just do our own personal independence instead of seeking it from. You understand? That's where I think he stands, and that's what I understand, and that's why I really follow the guy.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Victor. So thank you, Victor. Let me go on from you for reasons of time, Victor, and let's go on to Thomas, who joins us from Australia. So Thomas, you are up next if you're available. Thomas, are you there? All right. Let's go from Thomas to Ajanle Koko. So Ajanle Koko, let me take you to this list of 6 demands that Wike has made of Atiku. So let's go through it again. Immediate removal of you, alteration of the National Working Committee, Atiku to put it in writing that he's only going to serve 1 term, demands to produce the next chairman from the Southwest, demands to produce the Senate President, principal officers of the National Assembly, and key ministers if PDP win, and to nominate the Director General of Atiku's campaign. So it's demanding for the presidency. That's what I can say there.
Yeah, thank you, woman, and to our listeners around the world, wherever you are, please click on the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't done so. One man, yeah, Wike's group demand I think is such a demand is normal in politics when you see 2 groups trying to align and work together. And what they are put forward, they cannot totally have everything. But if Atiku's team is serious, I think they should be able to meet with them and try to, meet at the middle. Both of them can shift ground on certain areas of those demand and work things out for the benefit of themselves, their party, and the generality of Nigerians. So it is normal in politics when you see 2 groups within a party that are opposition against each other and trying to come together. Yeah, they put up demand for each other, and Atiku, as the leader of the party, most elderly among them, the leader of them, of course, he should be able to, act wisely, be matured, and work things out with them. And if you look at most of their demands, I mean, there is legitimate. We cannot have the Northerners dominating all the strategic position in the party. It cannot happen like that. If it's, giving the support to go ahead and.
All right. Okay, go on.
Give it the support to go ahead and, vote into power like that. Such will be replicated in the mental position as well. We don't want it. We don't want what has happened during the Buhari's administration to happen again in our political solution. So It's normal. They can meet and work things out and forge ahead. That's the way I see it, Mama.
All right, brilliant. And to this Japan narrative, so this journalist has written an opinion piece that asks the question, Japa, what is the fate of Nigerian youth if Atiku Tinubu emerge president? So this is a thing now. It's a phenomenon and probably one of the most disturbing things going on in Nigeria at the moment. The rate at which the country is hemorrhaging the brightest and the youngest and the most fit and vibrant. So, of course, I mean, if you are young and vibrant and you are talented, there is absolutely no reason on earth why you want to stay within the Nigerian space. And what this writer is inviting us to consider is that if Atiku or Tinubu win the presidency, the rate at which the youth are just even they are going through Libya. Can you imagine that? That is just how traumatized they are by the Nigerian state. So he said that this is going to spike up even more so under Atiku or Tinubu, but it might abate somewhat under Peter Obi. So do you concur with the conclusions reached by this journalist?
Look, that journalist is what his article, I think is biased. It's not truthful about what he wrote. It's not putting things in the right perspective. And by his write-up, he appears as pro-Obi or Obi's supporter. And all he's doing there is just to demarcate other candidates and promote Obi's status in this, campaign or march towards 2023 election. So, look, Nigeria has been jackpotting for a long time. All right. In the 80s, when I was a youth myself, I wanted to jackpot too. And it wasn't because of economic hardship or for anything, but because we have some of our friends that traveled to London, and when you see their picture posing with a white girl, and when you see them living in that, what do you call it? Living in that London flat.
Yes, a good life.
That skyscraper. You just compare that. Oh, look at my friend that where he's living. That London flat just look like our 1004. Oh, he's living like in the house like a senator. And when you see the road and you see him in that, what do you call it? This winter jacket, looking puffy, wearing boots and so on. Oh God, I have to go. You see, so Nigerian youth has been jackpotting for a long time due to so many reasons. So even on the professional side, in the 80s, Nigeria suffered a lot of doctors left Nigeria to Saudi Arabia, particularly. In the 80s, a lot of our doctors that I know in the 80s and 90s, they went out of Nigeria in a large number to Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia was demanding for, medical doctors and the rest. And Nigerians happen to be, some of the best in the world. And Saudi Arabia was paying heavily, like 10 times of what they are paid in Nigeria. It wasn't that the payment, their salary in Nigeria was not good that time. But when you see a foreign country offering you like times 5 or times 10 of what you are earning, what do you want to do? So that was the reason. So saying that Nigerian youth will jackpot more, even when Obi become the president, Nigerian youth will still want to jackpot. Any opportunity they see to jackpot, they want to jackpot. So saying that it's only when Atiku and Tinubu wins, Nigerian youth will japa more. That is just deceitful. It's not. It's not. It's a completely. It's completely deceitful. It's not. It's not truthful, and I cannot accept that. Nigerian youth will japa for so many reasons. Look, we know that our economy, the economic hardship, contribute to more reason why they want to japa. Yes, we know that. And even when the people become, they will japa more. So saying that is only that will be applicable when only when Tinubu and I don't want to believe that. Obi to do if Obi becomes president, Nigeria you will want to japa completely. So that article is not. It's just a way of boosting the image of Obi as the best alternative for us. So it's not. I don't want to buy into that moment. It's deceitful.
Oh, all right, brilliant. Still staying with Peter Obi, Ajanle Koko. So this, and I think we've mentioned it. Not just we are not unique or peculiar. Everybody notices that this guy he has this habit of quoting statistics and facts that to buttress whatever he's saying to his audience. And when he quotes all these alarmist data, the audience, of course, they're in abject alarm that is that really the situation? But and of course, the audience somewhat they surrender to him because, of course, he's a senior person, a man of achievements, and he's been in the system both in the financial space and in governance at the very top. So they think he's speaking categorically when he makes these assertions. But oftentimes, if not most times, if not all of the time, whenever whatever he presents as facts are interrogated, it is found to be wanting. So this article it seeks to just interrogate just 5 of the things that this guy has said in recent times. All of them categorically and often in some instances by a wide margin a total lie. So this Peter Obi's habit of plucking facts from thin air and throwing it at the gullible. Will this be the undoing of him, Ajanle Koko?
Well, one man, it is good that Peter Obi's statement and all the data that he has put out there are fact-checked. And this is what we need. When one of our leaders says something, we should fact check what they said, and be sure if they are lying or truthful with us. So that guy have done good, but I don't want to believe that Obi making some mistake in some of the data that he put out there was deliberate to misinform the people. I don't want to believe that. He might not get the accurate data well. He might not get all the data well because Nigerian state is a country that doesn't keep accurate data itself. And, so there might be some, some mistake one way or the other somewhere. But I don't want to believe that Obi was putting those information out, to deceive the people or misinform the people. But while he has, done well to, fact check Obi, I hope he can do the same to the rest of those thieves we have out there too, like Tinubu and Atiku. He should go out and fact check them and investigate them. All the campaign of Lagos, I govern Lagos well, I did well in Lagos, we are going to replicate the same when we govern the state, we do the, I hope we can do the same on Tinubu, and I hope we can do the same on what do you call it, on Atiku as well. So if you not just concentrate on Obi's alone, Obi, yes, yeah, it could be wrong, but I don't think that Obi was doing it deliberately. No, I will not agree with that.
Are you sure? Yeah. Because the writer actually said that in most instances, when things that he says are fact checked, they are found to be wanting.
He cannot use 5 instances to say most.
No, he just cited 5 examples, but I
And
can't.
he should tell us
It,
more. If
no,
he
he can't.
really,
But we know he makes up stuff now. We know Peter Obi
no,
makes up
one man,
stuff.
let me tell you this. If Obi said 10 things and you are the one fact checking,
And 7 are wrong.
yeah, if you are saying he said most, 5 that he mentioned cannot constitute most. Obi have said a lot.
Yeah, but he cannot go through everything that he said that is wrong now.
And that shows
He can only cite examples.
That shows that he is not serious himself. If you are investigating Obi on everything he has said so far,
then you have to go through everything that he has said that is wrong.
Why is he fact check? What is he fact checking for?
It's fact checking to highlight.
Yeah,
Okay, there was a time that Obi said just so many things. I cannot even recall. But even in the course of these sessions, we fact checked him oftentimes and found him wanting. Examples outside of the ones cited by this guy. Obi makes up stuff now. He does.
Well, what my position here is that if you, as an organization, say that you are fact checking somebody, you must, be very specific on what you are fact checking on. If Obi said 10 things or came up with 10 different, information or data there concerning economics and other things, bring out all the 10 of them and tell us, oh, look at all these 10 data that this guy came out with. 7 of them or 8 of them are lie. Then we can take Obi as a complete liar. But if you are saying several out of several things, look at these 5. That's not the way to do it. He was, well, why I will praise him for at least, doing that thing, fact checking him, to tell us where Obi has misinformed us or, maybe wrongly put something out there. I won't take just only 5 instances to rubbish Obi out completely. No, it's not done like that. You can. I believe that Obi was not deliberate. Yes, there could be some mistake somewhere, but I don't want to believe that he was doing it deliberately to misinform Nigerians and to deceive them in order to garner their support. I don't want to believe that. But Obi and his group should see this as a challenge. They should see this as a way to, do their investigation and get their information right before putting out there. So it is good that this guy came out with this wrong information that he'll be, put out there. I commend him for that. So Obi's group on their own side should take it as a way to do better and, bring out accurate and specific as rightful as it is, before putting, it out for public consumption. So it is not good for Obi's image. Obi can do better, but I don't think that Obi did gave those information out deliberately, to misinform Nigeria. I don't think so.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Adanle Koko. So 4-time Adanle Koko. Let me go on from you to Kolata. But before I go on to Kolata, just to the audience, the task for today is to achieve 70 new subscribers. So that's how I started off the session. That in the course of today, so we're having 2 sessions today, and in the course of those 2 sessions, we want to achieve 70 new subscribers. So some of you have taken on board that challenge, but not enough of you have taken on board that challenge. So if you're not already subscribed, then please do that. So we can 17 new people to be subscribed to the channel in the course of the 2 sessions that we're going to have today. And if you're not already clicked on the like button, click that as well. So click on this. If the subscribe button on your screen is showing red, click it so it shows gray. So then you help us on our way to that 17 new subscribers. So as you said about that, listen then to the commentaries of Kulata, who joins us. So Kulata, the 6-point demand of Wike to Atiku, Mission Impossible, is essentially a polite get lost, is it not?
It is. Wike is giving Atiku what Yoruba people call Arodon. I hope my Yoruba, you guys correct me. I hope my Yoruba is correct. Arodon is more like a mission to nowhere. Go and get something impossible.
Yes.
Atiku can't deliver on all those 6 points. So Atiku is essentially toast as far as Wike's support is concerned. But like yesterday, I still questioned Wike's power because I went back to go and try and recollect what has happened in the past in Rivers election. Then in the last 2019 election, APC was disqualified on that ticket. So it was just Wike versus nobodies because the court disqualified APC in 2019. And in 2015, Wike engineered so much violence in the ballot box that in many places, voting did not take place, but results were declared. So I still question Wike's power, even within the River State space itself. So it's creating a lot of headaches for Atiku. I think at this point, Atiku should probably give a last shot to placate Wike, but you can never placate him given those unrealistic demands, and then abandon the whole thing and focus on buying over the foot soldiers that Wike will rely on, because at the end of the day, it's dollar for dollar. So Baba from Dubai should have enough dollars. He's made a lot of money from on airport that he should be able to match Wike's spending and influence. So I just think this whole thing is raising a lot of dust unnecessarily for PDP, and Atiku should put up right now, or just shut up. Don't try and go after Wike anymore. After this attempt, stop it, clean shop, make a clear stand. Put Wike at a distance. Then start playing your own chess game. Buy all the people that you can buy within Wike's camp. And stop the bleeding. He has to stop the bleeding. Right now, it's because people are seeing the bleeding and everybody is kind of talking about it. Call Wike's bluff at some point in time and pull up your big boy pants and do it mano a mano, and let's see what Wike will be able to wrestle from him. That's what he has to do. You can't continue this endless game. He has to, if he wants to be the president of Nigeria, he needs to act like one. And acting like one is being decisive, and calculate, doing your analytical, your analysis, and go for it. Stop placating Wike unnecessarily if it's not going to give you reasonable demands. You won the president. You won the ticket.
Because those demands from Wike is essentially demanding the presidency.
Yeah, how will Wike is asking for not just the structure, is asking for the entire architecture, the backing of the PDP. Let me have it in my pocket. So Atiku will essentially be Wike's puppet. Based on what? I won't allow it. If I was Atiku, I will never allow it. And if it means I will lose, so be it. But at some point in time, I'm going to call the BS and go after Wike's so-called structure. Because if Atiku looks at it critically, in 2015, Wike used massive thugs. I don't know if that is still tenable. In 2019, it was the courts. So are we trying to say Atiku 2 can't kind of block all those things? He can. But the only problem he has is the noise making, because Abia State Governor, Benue State Governor, I mean, to each one of them, Abia State Governor can't really control these people from voting Peter Obi. A lot of Abia people will vote Peter Obi. Benue State, I don't know too much influence he has amongst his own people, because he was an APC guy, now he's a PDP guy, he's owing salaries, there's insecurity in the state. There's so many things that, I mean, I don't know to what extent his influence is. So I think we just needs to like call their bluff and do what he has to do and shut this space up. It can't continue to linger this long.
Kulata, you see the governor of Benue State, he was originally PDP man before they moved to APC. They moved to APC with Atiku back then.
Okay.
It was when APC started doing their nonsense that they came back to PDP. And Wike was one of those, was particularly Wike facilitated his coming back to PDP. You understand what I'm saying? So he's popular among his people. He won as a governor during the time of APC, and then contested an election again under PDP and re-elected, and he has been standing up fighting. Is on the ground. Wherever he goes, the people will go with him.
But his victory wasn't a blowout victory in 2019 now. I just looked at it.
Blowout?
He made 434,000 versus Emmanuel. I hope I'm pronouncing versus Emmanuel Jime. That one made 345,000. So
yeah, both of them.
It wasn't exactly a blowout now.
Oh, what do you mean by what blowout are you looking for? Somebody won election, you say blowout.
He won it by
80%.
He won it by 90. He won it by 90,000 votes, and we are talking about the situation where the only way autumn becomes dangerous.
Do you think
Atiku, let me land my point. Let me land my point. The only way autumn becomes dangerous for Atiku is if autumn supports APC, because if APC can get let's just say, this is what I can't calculate the ratio on top of my mind, but the difference is 90,000, which is decent. So if they can get autumn to support APC, then you know that close to 45% of Benue already vote for APC. Then that tips over, because right now, status quo, autumn can give, based on past result, autumn can give Atiku maybe 55%. So it's only if APC buys autumn that is dangerous. So Wike is really that space.
But if that your calculation is right, then they would not be caught in Wike as aggressively as they are.
Yeah. So when I'm looking at it now, probably out of all those ones that we've identified, autumn is probably the most dangerous for Atiku out of all of them, in my opinion, because his own is so close. APC PDP, based on last result, is so close that any amount of any small chunk of people that are crossover on his behalf will actually like mess up Atiku. But in the case of Rivers, I can't say, because like I said, the 2015 was all violence all the time in 2015 election, and in 2019 the court kind of like put a kibosh on the major opposition, so we don't even know that strength. But Autumn we know that it only takes a little.
Kibosh.
Yeah, kibosh. So Autumn's case, it only puts just a little to tip it over, to tip the scale. In Abia State, there's no scale that is tipping. Abia will vote for Peter Obi. So when you look, when you sit down and try and like look at this rationally, it's just a lot of noise that Atiku needs to call his bluff. And if Atiku wants to call his bluff, he has to divide and rule.
You don't know practicality of how politics work. That's why
we all have our own opinions.
Hold on.
This is my own opinion, and let me finish my own opinion. Hold on. Let me finish my own opinion first. Let me land my point.
Yeah.
Atiku needs to divide and rule. He needs to look at Wike's posse and start picking them one by one and trying to buy out the ones. If I was in Atiku's shoes, I will spend a lot of money on Samuel Autumn to get it on my side. And I feel Samuel Autumn is one of those guys that, middle belt, they're either one Sheku, one Sheye, one Shadow. They're there, not there. Atiku could still buy Autumn and get him over to his side. Because at the end of the day, Wike is not going to be governor anymore. He's not going to have any political party. So what's in it for Autumn to come in to risk a loser versus someone that's a potential winner? So I will buy Autumn. I mean, in the case of Ikpeazu only needs to wait for Wike to die out. He'll come back to the fold. So at the end of the day, Wike is just making too much noise more than the power he actually wields. That's my opinion.
All right, brilliant. Let's hear from Ajale Koko. Then I want to go on to Joseph Sunday. So Ajale Koko, you wanted to disagree.
Let me tell you, Kulata, it doesn't work practically the way you are talking about, like that. You think Atiku is stupid for chasing what do you call it? What's the name of that river state?
Wike
to London and his group. You think he's stupid?
It's not stupid. He needs Wike.
Hold on, Kulata. Yeah.
But he has to call his Wike's bluff at some point.
You think that is the way you work in politics? But those of you outside that have not practiced politics before, you think politics work in practicality the way you are saying it from outside? Already, PDP Obi has caused a serious damage on PDP.
Yes.
And Wike is trying to crack it down more. And you want him to allow him to crack it more instead of managing him. It doesn't work in practicality like that. Bluff Wike off. Then you bluff him off. You bluff yourself to losing the election. That is the way it's going to turn out.
Wike has given him an impossible task to make.
No, hold on.
What's the point?
It is not impossible. Wike cannot get everything. They have to meet at the middle. But the road to meeting at the middle is what Atiku have to embark upon. Everything is on Atiku. Whether he like it or not, he needs Wike more than Wike needs him this time.
Yes.
Otherwise, he will lose the election heavily, and that will be the end of him politically, the end of PDP in particular. So Atiku has invested. Do you know how much Atiku have invested in PDP since this time? Is enough to
there's a time limit to cutting Wike. There's a time limit. If this thing lingers on and no deal is struck, Atiku needs to pull the plug.
Atiku cannot afford to pull the plug because if he can afford to, he would have.
If this thing festers to December and Wike is still doing the bride,
cannot fester to December.
Okay, let's say it festers for another 2 months.
Everything depends on him.
Kulata, you have to understand this fight. Kulata, you have to understand this fight. This fight is not just Wike. It's Southern PDP that is fighting for their life through Wike. Not just Wike.
But
Kulata
is right though. Autumn will prove to be the weak link because Autumn's wife is having a birthday in the next few days, and all the PDP they are going there to felicitate with her, according to them. So as always, the middle belt they will always go with their Fulani masters, and they will buy him over.
No, let me tell you one man. Even Atiku have a title in Benue State, one of the highest traditional title in Benue State.
Everybody has a title now. Buhari has a title in Igbo land.
Yeah, so still, this guy did not give him the vote in the primary. Autumn said, I will stand by power shift to the south. He has said it long ago, and he stood by it. He carried that action during the primary, and is still standing with Wike, and there's nothing that people can do. They are both committed. The Wike group, they are solidified group. They have a mission they are pursuing in that party. And Atiku allowed this to happen due to his negligence, due to his inaction, due to all sort of useless maybe arrogancy or something like that. So these people, Fayoshe, governor of Oyo, look, you can't look. These people, their people are seeing them as their strongest leader.
Your premise
Hold on. Let me
your
finish.
premise
Let me
is
finish.
this is
Let me
one
finish.
indivisible group of
Let me visit.
politicians that cannot be
visit.
broken apart by divide
Let
and
me
conquer.
visit. Let me Atiku is the one losing ground.
He is, but he has to cut the rope
not Wike.
and
Wike
start
is not
another
losing
strategy.
ground. Wike is not losing ground. Obi is not losing ground. He is the one among them all losing ground now. And he will lose more if they should lose Wike and his friend and his group. So in practicality, it doesn't work the way you are doing. He's the one that will meet them consistently and work out things.
Okay. Round up that space, Kulata, and then I want to move on to
let me round up.
Yeah.
You guys are talking like this is one indivisible group. You're also talking like Atiku can afford to continue to try and cut Wike, and Wike still keep shifting, goalpost shifting. No, it has to stop at some point in time. Atiku needs to kind of lick his wounds, count his losses, and re-strategize, because at the end of the day, Wike is going to be toast once he's out of office. That's the long game. And before the long game, there are many weak links within that coalition that Atiku can exploit. He can exploit Autumn. He can exploit all the Eastern governors, PDP, because those ones, all they need to get is money, because the people are going to vote for Peter Obi anyway. And it's the same set of PDP politicians in the South that met with Buhari in last election and agreed to give Buhari 25%, not to win, but give 25%, and they delivered for him. So why are you making it like, oh, Wike just has this sum of aura and power that's very temporary? We're talking about power that's going to expire in the next 6 months. Politicians are not stupid. They know, they will rather go and cut deals with Atiku that can be president and further enhance their power than someone that's going to be irrelevant in 6 months. So that's the summary of my thoughts. Wike has a timeline, and Atiku needs to do whatever he needs to do before, after that timeline.
Oh, all right, brilliant. So not everybody agrees, but for time,
it's normal.
We will push you again, but and you are completely wrong in what you said, but
that's fine.
Let's go to Joseph, who also joins us. So Joseph, are you ready to go?
Yeah. Good afternoon to everyone. I thank you all for this discussion. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you. Good to have you. So, what does grammatic active means? Is that German?
Yeah, it's a German language.
All right, brilliant. So versus Deutsch, the speaking Deutsch and all that.
Yeah.
So all that. So let me take you straight to it then, and let me take you to the space. So this person now has taken time out to pick out 5 Peter Obi commentaries to debunk, to highlight the fact that Peter Obi has this penchant for plucking just facts from thin air and feeding it to the ravaging gullibles. So Peter Obi's habit of making up facts, is this something that is coming to bite him fairly soon?
Before I will answer that question, let me quickly correct some impression by this our brother Kulata concerning Atiku and Wike. If it happened to be individual, if Atiku happened to be dealing with these people individually, it is easy to cut off with anyone. At the time, politically, it became a group. Before this group follow Wike, they knew that Atiku have money. They knew it can buy them over, but there's something they want. And let me also tell you, my brother.
Wait, what is stopping Atiku from dealing with them individually? Do you think when he talks to them, it always has to be a block? It has to be in block.
I'm coming. These people choose to be Wike follower. If you are conversant with the news, these people choose to be speaking with Wike. They choose to be having grievances because of Wike issue with Atiku. If you are conversant, they don't have personal issue with Atiku. If you look at what their grievances are, they are angry because Atiku could not settle himself with Wike. Not because Atiku could not settle himself with them personally. Now, let me also let you know this. In politics, person can give you demands, and then pushing for written agreement. Pushing a written agreement can be abandoned immediately somebody win an election. Every written agreement can be pushed aside. Now, this 6 or 5 agenda that Wike has written to Atiku, or his demand, as the case may be, some can be met, like the chairmanship of the party can be changed, the NWC can be reshuffled, but in terms of the Senate president, I don't think of that. Some ministerial positions can be also be given, but other
and the commitment that Atiku serves only 1 term. I mean, that's just a nonsense.
That one is not negotiable. It cannot. Immediately,
Atiku will even sign it as soon as it becomes
president.
He will
sign. He will sign. Immediately it became president. He will sign it. It is not law now. Is it a law?
I don't mind them.
They have signed a lot of PDP as a party. They have signed a lot of agreement that is not met. Even in their primary that just passed, they have it in their party book that power will be rotated, but it is not met. That is because it is not in our law. You can't challenge it in court. That is it. So if Atiku become president, whatever thing agreement that is signed can be pushed aside.
Guys,
Atiku can never sign
look at this.
to become a president for just 1 term. Because there can be some argument that let's check who have ruled more in Nigeria space since 1999. The Northerner can bring that argument forward. You understand? And he can also be president again. So that one is pushed aside. And Wike is raising his feather because why? They are not even sure that Atiku will win as a president. That is one particular point you people should be looking at. They are not sure that Atiku will become president. Because why? Every governor of a state believes in himself to deliver his state to the presidential candidate.
Got it.
Now, how many governors does PDP have? Just 13. If you have 13 out of 36, it means that you are not even up to half. For that simple reason, they are not even sure that Atiku can become president. That is why Wike is being reigning over the media. That's why you see all political parties, they are running to him to win into their side. If they succeed in winning into their side, it will further break down Atiku. Because number 1, 3 political parties is sharing PDP as it stands now. Labour Party, PDP, and NPP, they are sharing PDP because all of them are branches from PDP. So if these 3 political parties are already sharing one past party, so it tells a lot that Wike group now, which make up of 4 governors, is already standing to break out again. Atiku will be finished out of 13. 4 is already out again. It will be remaining 9. So he cannot go to election and win with 9. He is even not sure of winning with 13, talk less of 9. So for Atiku to be playing game with Wike, he know what he's doing. For him to be saying he can still get up to the demand, playing with him. My brother, don't blame him that he should just cut off with Wike. He cannot do it. If he do it, he's blowing himself. You understand?
All right.
That is it.
Let me quickly make a quick point. There's some facts. There's timeline, and then there's timeline in place. That means time is running out. Then we also have four major parties. out of those 4 major parties, 2 of them are non-entities. The Oyo State governor is a non-entity. Tinubu is going to win the state regardless of whatever he does. The Abia state is not that much of an entity. So because Obi is going to win the state, then you're now left with 2 that are real the 2 that are real negotiations needs to happen. And that's Autumn, which we just looked at. There's a marginal victory between APC and PDP there. And then there's Wike. When you look about it, if Wike is still making all these unreasonable demands, or reasonable demands, Atiku only needs to make one single decision. I've cut it down now to 1. It will go after the Benue State governor. It doesn't really need to go after Abia because at the end of the day, Abia will go for Obi. It doesn't really need to go after Oyo because at the end of the day, Oyo is going to go for Tinubu. So he can channel all his resources to Benue and then channel all his resources to try to crack down Wike in Wike's area of strength. If I was Atiku, that is how I'm going to deploy my resources because
my brother,
those are the 2 main things.
It is easier said than done.
But
These
the
people
analysis,
are not
whether
working.
you look at it like
I'm coming. These people are not working individually. I told you before. They are working as a group. And there's so much belief in Wike. Politics does not go the way you are thinking it.
You guys trust politicians just too much. Like you trust them.
Not politician. I'm talking of Nigeria politics. I'm not talking of politician. I'm not talking of politician. I'm talking of Nigeria politics. The way it goes, it does not go the way you are calculating as if it is business we are doing. No.
Tulada is thinking that politics is like buying and selling.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
buying
not.
and selling. It's not.
So you're buying and selling interest. That is it. It's transacting in interest.
That settles that. Let me go direct to the question asked initially. For Peter Obi, I can say is working on Nigeria intelligence and is trying to work on the area of our weakness. What is the area of Nigeria weakness as a people? Nigeria area of weakness as a people is that we don't read much and we are not care about keeping information or keeping record of things. That is where Obi is getting hold of. That is the system is using. It may be wrong in whatever is placing there in the public, in some of the things, not all. But Nigeria people, they are like a deaf person. When you hear once, one of every 10 word, it think all of them is like that. That's how Nigeria goes. Whatever they hear, they get hold of it, and they forget about every other one you will tell them. So Obi is playing that card to get hold of as much as people he can get hold of. I said it in this your program before. The kind of population or the kind of support that Obi is getting now. Buhari get it times 20 in 2014. But where are we today now? We are suffering, we are crying. Obi is not the Messiah of Nigeria. If they want to tell me that Obi is the Messiah of Nigeria, where were the people who is supporting him now in 2019 when he was PDP? When he was in PDP? Where were they? Did they not see Obi there? They saw him. For those who is talking about religion, if they really need pastor to be vice president or to be president, let them go and vote for NPP. They have a choice. Not following Peter Obi because you want to make money, because you want recognition. These are deceit. They are deceiving people. Anybody who is following Peter Obi now say, I don't want to hear about PDP, is just deceiving himself, because Peter Obi was in PDP 2019. What have changed now?
Look, it was just 2019 now. 2019 was 3 years ago. And it was
Okay.
vice presidential candidate.
Okay.
And now the same Peter Obi is telling us the Atiku that he was vice presidential candidate 3 years ago is now the evil that we must fight. Look at that. It's unbelievable.
I'm coming. The evil that we must fight. The evil that we must fight. The evil that we must fight. You were his vice president 3 years ago. What have changed?
It's unbelievable.
It is nonsense PDP that Obi could not speak against in 2019 when he was the vice president. He could not speak against them. He compromised them because these were the people who deal with Obi throughout his 8 years as governor in Anambra State. He could not speak against them. He compromised it. What tells you that Obi cannot compromise Nigeria when he becomes president? That is my question. He is a politician. No matter what you tell me today, I still think of that area. That is me as a person.
So, all right. Carry on. Round it off. Yeah, go on.
That is for your question. If you have another question, you can put it forward.
Okay, I'll put one more position to you. Okay, so the Japa narrative. So this writer is inviting us to consider that if Tinubu or Atiku, if they become president, then the Japa narrative within the Nigerian space, it will spike up, and even a higher number of youth and brain will seek to escape the country. But it's quite pointed to say that to exclude Peter Obi from that list, which is to suggest that if Peter Obi becomes president, then the Japa narrative will start to abate. So a quick commentary on that, the Japa narrative under Atiku, Tinubu, or Peter Obi. Just a quick commentary on that.
Oga Wama, you see, this your program or this your TV, YouTube channel. I decided to come here to let you know that I respect you very much. Why I came here to join this program this hour? Although I joined one certain time, long time ago, and I speak about politics, and today I'm coming back now. Why I'm respecting you so much is this. Like on some channel that you will go, they will tell you it's either you talk of Obi or you keep quiet. And if you are talking of other political party, they will tell you you are giving them edict. They don't want to hear of another political party, except Obi. Now these people are deceiving themselves. They will cry more than now when Obi will become president, because we have seen it before in the past. Now, talking of what you are saying concerning people running out of the country, if Obi become president, people will stay. Obi is not God. Obi is not the Messiah. Obi, as a president, if he become president, cannot give half of Nigeria job. It cannot. Government cannot give half of the population job. They cannot. They can only liaise with the private sector to create more jobs. Private sector even create more jobs than the government, if you look at it. Now, for person to insinuate such thing, it just give an impression that it has been bought over. You understand? To campaign for Obi, no problem. Because you cannot tell me what Atiku will become tomorrow if he become president. You cannot tell me what Asiwaju will become tomorrow if he become president, or what Obi will become tomorrow if he become president. Just as we couldn't predict what Buhari is now in 2014. That is my take on that. Thank you very much.
All right, brilliant. Well put. Brilliant, well put. So you must join us more often. If you are disarticulate, then you cannot hide away in the back. So that is Joseph Sunday. So thank you, Joseph.
Very much.
So thank you, Joseph. So from Joseph, we go on to RB to see if he's still with us. RB, are you still there?
I'm here.
Oh, all right, brilliant. So to the talking points and especially the focus on the 6-point demand of Yemsen Wike to the Atiku space for him to show to throw his support behind his ambition. A mission impossible, it would seem like, RB.
Yeah, thank you for having me, one man. And everybody, please like, subscribe. If you want to see and listen to and join a platform that has a balanced view, and they welcome everybody from any party, regardless of what part of the Nigeria region you're from. Please join this platform. Share on your WhatsApp group because I have a friend that I've asked to join this platform too. He loved talking politics. When it comes, you would definitely recognize him. About Wike, to me, is like the guy knows he's going out of oxygen. Like in 6 months, he's gonna be out of there, and after that, it's almost like there won't be anything for him, just like his predecessor, the minister. So I think he's just doing all he can because looking at the party right now, he's not the kingmaker. He's not a kingmaker, and all those demand is really all he's trying to do is take down the structure and have it to himself. Even if he can become a president, he can be the like a just like a Tinubu kind of figure for APC. But I mean, even Atiku himself have to go to some of these kingmaker. So imagine him telling Atiku, go those people that gave you this opportunity, go and take the power away from them. I mean, come on now. He's bullshitting. That's all that's all about. I don't think nothing gonna come out of it. Atiku can't even do it.
All right. Thank you. And the Peter Obi penchant for embellishment, just these tall tales that he tells. Are people starting to fact check him? Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, I was a little bit just for like couple of like a week or two on this wagon. Then I kind of did my research a little bit and I found out this guy is some bullshit. And some of the people that followed him, it was more regional, sentimental followership. It wasn't real. And if you listened to him yesterday, thank you for bringing the broadcast from Frankfurt in Germany. I watched it for work, and I was just laughing because there's nothing innovative about this guy. He talks numbers. He talks about all these countries that, in terms of resources that they have, in terms of GDP, they are not close, anywhere close to Nigeria. So why even compare them? Why even waste time? Tell us how you're gonna do it. You consumption, we need production. Like, yeah, this country is doing this million. I mean, he's human. He's gonna make mistake. Okay. I mean, when you start talking numbers like that, and also that shows something about him. He can't even put together a good team. You can't even put it together a good team that will be managing your media, what you're going to be saying out there, how you can capture the minds of the youth and all that. So you can't even put brilliant people together, and you will put a cabinet of smart folks that will turn the country around.
That's a great point.
Because obviously, if you have a good team, you will be doing something. Your speech and this thing will be better, and your people will be online seeing what people saying about you and how you can tweak it. So obviously, I don't think he gets it. I mean, and they're telling us this is the guy. Oh my God. Okay, that's my contribution, one man.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Albie. Albie, join us in the later session because now we are 2 hours in, so I'm wrapping up the commentaries and 2 more people to speak, World Peace and San Diego. So let me go on to World Peace as San Diego continues to enjoy the takeaway from his chicken from the game yesterday. But to you, World Peace, and to Wike and his demands. To be fair to you, World Peace, you were trying to introduce these demands yesterday, and I think people were not listening. But it looks as though you were right. He did make all these demands, wanting the Senate president, wanting Atiku to sign a pact that he will only serve 1 term, wanting to choose. In fact, it was wanting to be remotely the president. So impossible demand, World Peace.
Yeah, one man. Yeah. It's evening here. Just hold on. I'm putting my daughter to bed. Okay. Yes, I can answer you now. Anyway, I don't have to say much. We don't have much time. Kulata, you have to understand what Wike is fighting for is not just just for Wike, is the cabals in the south. They are trying to send a message. If Wike should, if Atiku should go on with this system in PDP and get the presidency, the South will be out, be cut off. You'll be under 8 years full and section again. They'll be irrelevant. So that's why they're trying to send a message, get what they can get. So it's not just, don't look at like just Wike. Understand this. Atiku cannot go to two war front at the same time. You cannot start spending money now on autumn because you want to get autumn, then go ahead again and spend money again to try and get the presidency. It won't happen. And any betrayal now will deepen the wound. Right now, Atiku is trying to stop the bleeding, it's not trying to cause more damage. Any betrayal right now again, it will deepen that wound. That he does not want. So, anyways, he's a good politician. They will find a way to settle it. And I believe they will settle it soon. That I said, one man.
All right. And to the Peter Obi's habit of telling fabucious in back in the day, we used to call people like that fabula mouth. So for him to be all these made up facts that he throws at the meat eaters, is it time for him to pack it in?
Yeah. It's a hard time for him to really get serious. I think I sent you a video on Instagram, but somebody else talk show. I don't know. I said you should watch it.
Yes.
Did you watch it?
No, I did watch it. Unfortunately, I can't use it because it's somebody else's.
No, you don't. No, I didn't say you use it. I think anybody can cut, but just watch it. See what that guy said. It made sense. So setting almost the same thing now that you are saying now, and what people are saying. People should at least sometimes check this guy, and this guy sometimes should behave as if he's really in the politics, not praising Atiku every day. You are a presidential candidate. You are saying somebody is your guy. You are romancing somebody else. Everything you do is to PDP. I don't understand if you are campaigning for PDP or, and that of the things he's saying is becoming ridiculous to me. Anytime he says anything these days, I don't just listen anymore, because before 30 minutes, somebody will debunk it with the truth and with the fact. I think it's a hard time Peter Obi should get his house together and do something serious. That's how I see it, one man.
But you see, the Peter Obi's space is a lot of it is wrapped around all of these facts that he presents, to the alarm and consternation of people that they say, is that the case? What is the solution? Please give us the solution. So a lot of the thing that a lot of his shtick is a raison d'etre, is around that space. So if he's not able to make up all these embellished facts anymore, it takes away a significant part of how he sells himself, because all he sells himself on are all these facts that he presents.
Yeah, you just said it. You have to embellish to continue that space, because if he stops, then if he stops, his campaign will be 50% dead. So he has to come up with things, embellish on things and things. I think if you notice something, he has moved from go and verify. Because now people are.
Yeah, he doesn't say that anymore. He doesn't say that anymore. He doesn't say that anymore.
Verify. Now it's a different phase. He has to be introducing something at a certain time of the campaign to get the people going. And I've said this before, the way the campaign team is taking these things is becoming very, very regional stuff. It's not good. It's becoming very regional. It's not good. It's becoming like it's a Easterner thing. No. Like anything Obi does this day, they just give him a pass. No. It's not good. And they should try and correct him. One man, let me give you space for the second person, because it's short.
All right, brilliant. Well done. You're a gentleman for doing that. So a gentleman from Japan. So to the gentleman from San Diego. Now the first question, of course, did your team win, San Diego? Unmute. Unmute. San Diego, we can't hear you. Unmute. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, good morning, wherever you're at. It's about 7:33 here, so it's still early right here. But anyway, no, they didn't win, but I enjoyed the game. They lost 27-10.
Oh, all right, but
but none of the regulars play, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, all right. Oh, all right, brilliant. So to the space then, Wike and his 6 points demand. I'm sure you are familiar with it. He wants Atiku to sign that he will only serve one term.
Okay.
He wants the chairman of the party to resign, and then he picks a new chairman. He wants Atiku to concede the Senate presidency to him so that he picks the Senate president. He wants Atiku to concede all the key ministerial portfolios to him, so he picks the key ministers. And then he wants, he just has all these ridiculous ones. So it's a get lost list, because it's impossible for Atiku to accede to any or at least most of that.
Let me ask you, the three demand that he made, is this something recently? Because I'm familiar with the IU one,
Yes, this is off the back of the meeting that they had in London. Let me run you through the list. Number one, the immediate removal of IU as national chairman. Number two, the alteration of the North-dominated National Working Committee of the party. Number three, that Atiku puts in writing his commitment to serve only one term if he wins, to pave way for power to shift to the south. Number four, demanded to produce the new PDP national chairman from the southwest. Number five, demanded to produce the Senate president, principal officers of the National Assembly, and key ministers if the PDP wins. And number six, nomination of a director general for the Atiku campaign organization. So that's a get lost list right there.
Oh my God, this is impossible. He's dead on arrival, pretty much dead on arrival. I mean, Atiku is not going to accept any one of them. I can understand the earlier demand about are you resigning? Maybe get the chairman coming from the southwest. That's reasonable.
Those are the only two that I read.
Right. But all these demand is impossible. I don't know what game he's playing. I mean, if he's making all these draconia demand, that's what I call it. That means there's some hidden agenda. He doesn't want to be in the party. If he asks me, how can you come up with this demand after you met Atiku? So I'm leaning towards. I've been saying previously that he's not going anywhere. That's what I was feeling. But it's looking impossible right now that he's going to be with the party. If he came out with this demand, maybe yesterday or day before yesterday, that's impossible. Atiku is not going to accept it. So he's becoming. I don't know what to use to qualify him right now. It's not going to happen.
Yes, he's getting a bit too arrogant. But
he's arrogant. He's arrogant already. So
yes, Kulata was suggesting that Atiku should just take the loss and just bin him, just because he's taking up too much space. And if he's making this sort of demand, certainly it's not a demand that Atiku can meet. So maybe it's time to just cut losses and just let him go.
Oh man, that's a dilemma in that point. I mean, I can see what Kulata said makes sense to me. That's what I would do, individually. But what's going to be the consequence? Because if he caught him right now, Atiku is going to lose the whole South. Well, I can't say it's going to lose River, and definitely he already lost the whole South. Forget about the Abia governor there. They are all voting for Obi. So Atiku will be like, this is going to be Atiku's last chance for presidency. So it's kind of put Atiku in a dilemma. But of course, his demand is impossible. It can't be met. There's no way. So he's putting Atiku in an impossible position. Who is going to be the downfall of Atiku? And it's looking like it's going to be the downfall of Atiku, unless Wike is just playing, But if he stick with this demand, it's impossible. Atiku is not going to meet it, definitely. And that's going to be at the end of Atiku. Because Atiku can only win the north, some part of the north. I don't know how many north he's going to win. He's not going to win anywhere in the south. Probably not south anywhere. Maybe one, or I don't know, maybe Bayelsa, probably. And he's not going to win anyone in the south. He's definitely in the southwest. Forget about Makinde. That's Tinubu territory. It doesn't matter. Whether he's governor there, that's not going to make any difference. They may re-elect him. I think they're going to re-elect him. If you ask me to forecast, they're going to re-elect Makinde, on that BDP platform. But on the presidential level, Oyo is going to vote for Tinubu. I mean, no doubt about it. So this is impossible. Yeah,
Yes,
an impossible.
it's a polite get lost, isn't it? It's a polite get lost. Let me take you to another talking point and the last talking point because I was actually going to round off when you just as you came in. But before I take you to the next one, San Diego, let me invite our audience. We have a target for today. We want 70 new subscribers to join the platform. So if you are not already subscribed, if the subscribe button is showing red on your screen, then click it to show gray so you can set us on the way to that 70 new subscriber target. So everybody, so if you don't have any reason not to be subscribed, then click on the subscribe button so we head on the way to that 70 subscriber target as we hear San Diego's commentaries on the Japa narrative. So a lot of, not a lot of, but a journalist has written an opinion piece, San Diego, to suggest that if Tinubu or Atiku wins the presidency, that these are hemorrhaging of brains and youth from the Nigerian state, it will ratchet up and increase multiple fold. So the Japan narrative, people escaping the country for greener pastures, do you anticipate, as this journalist does, that under Tinubu or Atiku, there'll be a spike in that space?
Yeah, to some extent, but it's just going to be because if Atiku and Tinubu win, of course, whoever win, I mean, in the next 4 years, there is going to be a very, tangible improvement. So, because most of the people supporting Obi, I see where he's coming from, his narrative is coming from. That may be true, may not be true, but he's making it because most of the people supporting Obi, their youth, I mean, spread all over the country. So if Tinubu win or Atiku win, yeah, the Japa narrative will kind of increase. That's definitely true. And if Obi win, this just my own opinion, okay? If Obi win, maybe they will stay a little bit, maybe a year or two to see if any improvement. But if Tinubu, the way they perceive Tinubu and Atiku, if they win, all of them gonna say, I'm gonna Japa, they don't even wanna wait to give them a chance, whether it's maybe 3 years or 4 years, maybe before they start seeing improvement. That's just the perception that is pretty much spread out there. Yeah, I believe.
Do you think that if Obi wins, we will see a repatriation, a moving back of Nigerians in diaspora? No, hold on. Because a lot of diasporans are invested in Peter Obi, and they would like to see him succeed. And if he takes over the government, they would want to actively see him succeed and go back to Nigeria to support his administration. Do you not anticipate that? A repatriation back to Nigeria under Peter Obi?
Okay, some of them may come and join them, but you don't expect a lot of diaspora to start rushing home. I mean, what's Obi going to do in the first 2 or 3 years? Nothing. I'm just saying, let's assume he wins. He can't do nothing. There's nothing that he's going to prove. Not even the first time, in the first 4 years, under both administration. I mean, there may be an indication, say, okay, the light is shining here a little bit. But it's not anything that's going to motivate the diaspora. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. So,
but you are already we've already surrendered you now. You are too American. You are too American to live in Nigeria again.
No. I still have a Nigerian blood. I have family in Nigeria. But anyway, going back to the topic, no, they are not going to be. But it may be some people to join his office. But I don't see anybody here. Even at all, you are working in McDonald's or whatever, or whatever you do. Is going to pack your stuff and go? It's going to be a very slim improvement, regardless of who wins. Depends on the kind of, depends on the kind of, government they want to, bring in that country. It's going to be a while. But on the narrative that some people is going to be living, particularly the youth, which are supporting Obi, because they may not give the, Atiku or Tinubu any chance, for the first 3 or 4 years to see what's going to happen. Yeah, there's indication that, a lot of them might japa, but does that make sense? Probably not. So I don't see that.
All right, brilliant. Well put. So brilliant.
One man.
Yeah.
One man. Is it that they don't want a japa or embassy is not giving them visa? That's
a rhetorical question. So we leave that question rhetorical. But go on, Kulata.
RB is the first person to pronounce japa correctly. When one man said it from his initial cast, I was cringing like, I'm a British.
What is
you can't say japa.
Kulata, how did he say it?
He said
hold on. Before you say it first, San Diego. How do you say it?
Japa.
Yes.
It's not japa is like you cut your arm. Japa Doremi. What is me re?
All right.
Is me re?
Japa. Look
Yeah,
at this
Japa.
guy.
Okay.
Look at this the almost professor telling me man from the streets how
Oh,
to
I
pronounce
was
it.
pronouncing it like one British,
how to pro-
one British guy that was maybe
No, don't
somewhere in
worry.
Wales
No,
drinking tea.
you're more Ajabota than me. You are the
No,
son of a
you're
professor.
Ajebo.
You are the son of a professor.
I was laughing. Like,
So then it says, make good your escape from Nigeria. Let's put it that way. Make good your escape from Nigeria. So let's make good our escape from the session, only to reconvene for the later sessions. So you see the assembly of people that we put at your...
Hey, one man. If you want me to comment on the Obi stuff.
Okay, comment on the Obi stuff, but Obi's embellishment of facts, fiction made facts. They call it faction or I don't know, but this Obi's penchant for just making up stuff, just fabutelling.
Yeah, that could be true. I mean, a lot of politicians do it, but in Nigerian space, Obi may be making more stuff than any other president. But one man. You know how Nigeria, a lot of them are not informed. I don't mean to use the word educated. They are not really informed because you already bought what Obi is saying. Because I've been watching a lot of polls. When they ask them, why are you supporting Obi? They're going to say production, from production, that phrase.
Yeah, consumption to production.
Yeah, they're going to say it. And they're going to say what Obi has done in Anambra. So they are bought into it. And there's nothing you're going to do to change it. Is it right? No, probably not. But they are bought into it. I think what's happening right now, Obi doesn't want to. This is my own opinion, okay? He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to go on the normal campaign, the way Nigeria campaign. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do this for you. So he's paraphrasing things, to make it where it can be believable. This was going to happen. This was happening in this country. So everybody's buying it. I mean, you may say that it doesn't make any sense, but he has made a lot of sense to Nigeria. The ones supporting him now, they have bought it, and there's nothing he can do to change their mind. This is me. He's running a different campaign. A lot of them may be lying. Look at Trump. Trump did it here, Believe me, and a lot of people bought what Trump said. And most of what he said was lie.
Yes.
So he doesn't want to go to the normal campaign of Nigeria.
It's an old technique, San Diego. If you repeat something often enough, it takes on a truth of its own. Like you said, when you ask people why they are supporting Peter Obi, they will say, he wants to take the country from consumption to production.
Right.
They don't know what that means, and they will say because of what he did in Anambra, they can't
go verify.
They will tell you one thing that they don't know one single thing that he did in Anambra, but they've just heard that so often that they repeat it as well.
I'm just saying they already bought into that, and you can't. There's nothing you can change your mind. We are more informed here. You have a lot of informed in this platform right now. They can't change their mind. Even at all, you have niece or whatever brothers, you call them in Nigeria and say, oh, what Obi is saying is, doesn't make any sense. They don't believe you. I'm just saying, he's playing a different campaign.
You know what it is? It is hope that the Nigerian people are wanting. They are just wanting something that would take them from where they are to a better place. And they don't see it in anybody else apart from Obi. So Obi represents hope. It doesn't matter what it says. It just represents hope.
Yeah, because that's why Nigeria go to church 3 times a day, 7 days. They are the most prayerful, nation I've seen in this world. And there's a church here in Texas. I've forgotten the name of the guy. He doesn't preach from the Bible. All he gives you is hope, and he has one of the largest congregations. And people believe it. He's based in Houston.
In Houston.
You can remind.
I know him. Oh Lord, I remember that guy with the Ferrari.
Right.
Is it crypto dollar?
No, not crypto. Crypto is in Atlanta.
No, this is a white guy.
Something. This is paining me because I can see his face. Joel Austin. Joel Austin.
All he preaches is hope. When I went to visit my sister the last time, I just went to his church just to see. That was like about 5 years ago. Just to see, he doesn't preach for the Bible. He gives his hope, and people bought it. He has one of the largest congregations in this country. I'm just saying, Obi is playing a different politics, whether it's intentional or whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying he's saying the truth, everything, but that's how it is. He doesn't want to play the normal Nigerian politics. So,
but to be fair to him, it's a clever technique because he has to do something completely different to bring.
Yeah,
he cannot compete in the old spaces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
So you can't blame him for the way he is. But San Diego, I must rush off because of errands I have to run. Please rejoin us in the later session when we have even more time for the audience to delight in your summaries. So that has been the field. San Diego, RB, Ajanle Koko, Kulata, the man with the statistics. So that has been it. So we reconvene for the later session. So we are pushing for so you can see it on your screen. We want 70 new subscribers in the course of today. So both this session and the latter session. So if you're not already subscribed, then you can set us on the task of achieving that target by clicking on the subscribe button. Click on like as well. Then come join us at 9:45 variable PM UK time, where the conversation gets even bigger and the voices get even more intellectual. So all of that, not just intellectual, but informed. So informed conversations, devoid of emotion and sentimentality. If that is your diet, then this is your restaurant. I don't know why I said that, but just so if that is what you like, then this is where you come to. So I leave it there. Carry conversation on within comment section over here. Say peace.